They say love heals all wounds, but the truth is that love is often the one holding the knife. Because the people you love most and the ones you trust, depend on, and open yourself to, are the ones who have the power to hurt you the deepest. And not because they're evil, but because they are mirrors, reflecting the parts of yourself you've spent your whole life avoiding. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." What he meant was simple. The closer someone gets to your soul, the closer they get to your shadow, to your fears, to the parts of you that you've buried under charm, control, and certainty. And when they touch those wounds, you call it betrayal. But in truth, it's revelation. Love doesn't just connect people, it exposes them. It peels away your persona, that mask you wear for safety, and forces you to confront who you really are when the act falls apart. That's why love feels both divine and dangerous. Because to love deeply is to risk destruction. And yet, that destruction is the birthplace of awakening. Psychologists have long understood that we don't fall in love by accident. We are drawn, unconsciously, to the people who reflect our unfinished stories. You don't fall for who's perfect. You fall for who feels familiar. That's why a kind person might love someone who hurts them. Why a strong person might keep returning to chaos. It's not stupidity. It's the psyche's attempt to heal through repetition. Carl Jung called this the repetition compulsion, the instinct to replay our trauma in new disguises, hoping that this time it will end differently. But it never does, until you learn the lesson. You see, every relationship is an initiation. Every heartbreak is a symbolic death. Because pain isn't punishment, it's instruction. It's life stripping you of illusions, showing you what your heart still clings to and asking, are you ready to see yourself? The pain you feel isn't them hurting you, it's the collapse of the false self you built around them. The person you thought you needed to be loved. And when that collapses, you either wake up or you repeat the cycle. Love is not about finding someone who completes you. It's about finding someone who reveals what's incomplete inside you. And when you finally face that truth, that's when real love begins. Not the fairy tale, not the performance, but the raw, unguarded connection between two people who have seen their own shadows and decided to stay anyway. Here's what most people never realize. Pain doesn't destroy you. Denial does. The heartbreak you fear, that unbearable loss, it's actually the fire that forges the real you. Because every time someone breaks you open, they give you a choice: to close harder or to open wiser. Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "To live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering." And that's the secret. You don't escape pain. You transform through it. The people who hurt you the most were not random chapters in your story. They were teachers. They revealed your insecurities, your dependence, your unhealed need for validation. They showed you where you still give your power away. And in doing so, they offered you the greatest gift a human being can give another: the chance to awaken. So the next time love wounds you, don't just curse it. Sit with it, study it, ask, what part of me is being exposed right now? Because behind every heartbreak, there's an invitation, an initiation into self-mastery, awareness, and freedom. When you finally understand that the ones who broke you were actually shaping you, that's when you stop chasing love out of need and start embodying love out of strength. Because the highest form of love is not attachment, it's understanding. And sometimes the people who hurt you most were sent to teach you how to love without losing yourself. Most people think heartbreak happens to them, but the truth is, heartbreak happens through them. Every relationship you've ever had, every lover, friend, or family member who tore something open in you was playing a role written by your unconscious, not by chance, by design. Carl Jung taught that we live inside psychological myths, inner dramas where our fears, desires, and suppressed emotions play out through other people. When you fall in love, you aren't seeing the person. You're seeing the projection of your own unhealed story. They become the stage where your inner world performs itself. That's why love often feels both magical and maddening. Because it's not just romance, it's revelation. Every time someone disappoints you, rejects you, betrays you, life is trying to show you something you've buried. Maybe you grew up needing approval, so you attract people who withhold it. Maybe you crave safety, so you fall for chaos. Maybe you fear abandonment, so you choose those who leave. These aren't coincidences, they're mirrors. And the moment you stop blaming the mirror, you start seeing the reflection. Here's the cruel beauty of it. The people who hurt you the most are the ones who hold the key to your self-knowledge, because pain forces awareness. It tears through the veil of illusion you built to protect yourself and exposes the truth you've been avoiding. This is why true healing doesn't happen when you find better people. It happens when you stop needing them to fill the emptiness they revealed. You don't break the cycle by running. You break it by recognizing the pattern, owning it and integrating it. You stop asking, why did they hurt me? And you start asking, what in me needed this lesson? Because awareness ends repetition. And once you learn to see love through that lens, not as a fantasy, but as a form of evolution, every heartbreak becomes sacred. The ancient alchemists believed that transformation required fire, that gold was born not from comfort, but from burning away the impurities. Psychological alchemy works the same way. Your gold, your wisdom, your strength, your authenticity is hidden inside your pain. Every time someone hurts you, life is refining you, stripping away what's false, forcing you closer to what's real. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid that fire. They numb it, run from it, distract themselves with new people or shallow pleasures. But the ones who grow, the ones who become truly powerful, are the ones who learn to stand inside it, to let it burn away the illusions that once controlled them. Pain, when accepted consciously, becomes power, because it makes you self-aware. It humbles you, then rebuilds you with precision. It teaches you what cannot be taken, your composure, your presence, your truth. Think of it like this. Every heartbreak trains your emotional muscles. Every betrayal sharpens your intuition. Every loss clarifies what truly matters. Pain, properly used, turns sensitivity into strength and love into understanding. And here's the paradox. The more pain you integrate, the less pain controls you. You become calm, centered, almost untouchable, because you've already faced the worst and survived it with awareness. That's what Jung meant by individuation, the process of becoming whole. Not by avoiding suffering, but by transforming it. By realizing that love and pain are not opposites. They are the two halves of awakening. In time, you stop seeing the people who hurt you as villains. You see them as catalysts. Not destroyers, but sculptors, carving away what wasn't you, so that what remains is unbreakable. And when you reach that state, when you can look back at your pain with gratitude, you've become the alchemist of your own soul, untouched by illusion, unmoved by loss, whole and finally awake. Love will teach you joy, but it will also teach you pain. Both are sacred, both are necessary, and when you learn to embrace the pain, not as cruelty but as correction, you'll finally understand what Jung meant. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. The people you love will wound you, but through that wound you will awaken, because love's greatest secret isn't that it heals, it's that it reveals.